Our history is fading. How do we bring it back to life for the next generation? Behind every relic lies a heartbeat. To remember is not to look backward, but to awaken our collective story. Is art just for galleries, or can it actually help save the world? When imagination meets purpose, creativity becomes our most powerful tool for ecological and social harmony. In the digital age, is language just a way to speak? Or is it the data that connects our world? Language is the code of civilization. Through innovation, we translate diversity into universal understanding. In an era of rapid digital transformation, are we losing our connection to each other? Or can technology actually help us understand what it means to be human? At the intersection of human wisdom and digital horizons lies the true future of education. 4 interdisciplinary tracks, 1 shared mission, uniting language and education, cultural studies, digital humanities, and creative action for the Sustainable Development Goals.
Good morning, Excellencies, delegates, scholars, and guests. Welcome back to day 2 of ASICE2026, the conference on arts, sustainability, innovation, creativity, and education. I'm Sam O'Keefe, a lecturer in the Department of Western Languages at the Faculty of Archaeology at Silpakorn University.
And I am Kitipat Chaviraj. We are serving as the MC for today's conference.
We hope that you enjoyed reminiscing on yesterday's events. Very nice to see, right? Footage of all of you yesterday. Please note that we'll be sharing the QR for the Facebook page where you'll be able to access the entire live stream recording of yesterday as well as today. So we'll look out for that. It's coming soon. We hope you all had a restful evening after yesterday's incredibly rich exchange of insights spanning language, education, and the digital humanities. Yesterday, we established how the synergies of human culture and digital tools can redefine our approach to global heritage.
Yeah, and today we continue this momentous journey by focusing heavily on international collaboration, art education, and sustainable development actions. To kick off our day 2 morning program, it is my distinct privilege to introduce our fourth keynote speaker, Sam. And our first speaker today is an outstanding academic leader representing one of our esteemed co-hosting institution. Our speaker will be delivering his address on a vital topic for our global community, international collaboration for sustainable research, how fast and how far we can grow together. Please join me in extending a warm welcome to Professor Dr. Ling Wong, Vice Chancellor of INTI International University, Malaysia. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Wong.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are you? Sawadee krap. Nice to meet all of you today in Bangkok. Today is a very auspicious day. I'm very proud to be all of you here, especially attending this very great conference. This is my first time in our conference, ASICE conference, and I believe it won't be my last time here. Okay, so I'm very happy and very proud to share with you some of my experience on the management, maybe more towards the management of research. So we are now living in a very globalized world. I define globalized in the way that, especially when we talk to our esteemed, maybe we have students, we have lecturers, especially when we are in Bangkok. We just walk down the street, we will see different peoples from different countries, right? So we have different faces, we have different colors. So we have different background, culture, places that we come from. We have different arts background, we have different education background, and we have different thoughts on many things. So this is the meaning of globalization. Many of our research that I found today is, I would say, the meaning it won't be very meaningful without globalization. Like, for example, I would say the preservation of language that we mentioned, arts, anthropology that we have today. Okay, or in another word, to some of our students who are learning English today. Why we learn English? Because of one of the reason is because of the globalization, internationalization. That is the reason for us to do it. And another reason for us, okay, to embrace this internationalization or globalization is we want to pursue the output of it. Okay, because in university, one of the very important element that made us unique is the research. Okay, we create outputs. Okay, so today I wish to share some of my experience, some of my thinking about international collaborations and how it impact, right, sustainable research. Okay. Okay, so a bit background story about INTI International University to show everyone the impact of internationalization, globalization of our research, right? So in 2023 to 2025, though we have 3 years over here, okay, we successfully foster 187 active collaboration from 31 countries. So if I can use, okay, so we can see China, India, Indonesia, and even Thailand, okay, are some of our major collaborators. We have another one, Saudi Arabia. Okay, I wish to highlight these few countries because later we will mention about it again, about them again, yeah? Okay, so we have successfully published 2,100 scopus papers with authors from 160 institutes, over 110 countries in 2025, 1 year alone. Okay, and for the last year, we have organized about 16 international conferences, 80 online seminars, and co-organized about 30 international conferences. Okay, so all these activities or event, right, or data, it shows how important the international collaboration that will impact our research. Okay, so now I wish to show why it is important. So I make a comparison. I look back 20 years ago, about 2026, when 2026, I think I was doing my PhD, all right, at the time. Okay, so I make a brief comparison, all right, between these 2 years. Oh, I think I cannot go too far away from this. Okay, so one of the one of the difference that I found, all right, about 2026 to 2006 to 2026, yeah, sorry, it's about 20 years. So for the global output on the total research articles, right, for the Web of Science, WOS, it used to be ISI, but now we name it WOS, Web of Science. It was about 1 million, yeah, 1 million. And 20 years later, it grows up to about 3 millions, right? So it's nearly triple the amount, okay, in about 18 to 20 years. And then we found that geographical leadership, it used to be unipolar, all right, and now become multipolar growth, all right? Especially we found that China, South Korea, Saudi Arabia, India, Estonia, Russia, these are the countries that grow very, very fast in their output, okay? And then the key driver of growth used to be bound to the GDP, or we count how rich is the country, because we used to have the output of the research bound to the quality of the lab, how much equipments we have in the lab, right? Right. So how many high quality center of excellence that we have. But now it looks like the initiative, it goes to, or the key driver, it goes to the internet usage, digital connectivity, and global collaboration. So I think that is a shift. When I talk to many researchers, top researchers nowadays, okay, so it is a different from 20 years ago. 20 years ago, when we talk about research, the top researcher will tell me that, give me a lab and I will produce top papers. Okay, give me a lab, I will produce a top paper. But now it looks like, give me a laptop, I will give you top papers. Right? Correct, huh? Give me a laptop, I will produce a good paper. So that is the change in the key driver of growth. All right, so this is a slide that full with text. So I will try to be brief on here, okay, to highlight some of the changes of the research initiative many years ago compared to what we have now. Okay, one of it that I want to highlight here is about the technological drivers, right? So for the institutional wise, we used to have digitalization where we talk about we are no more using the papers. Okay, we want to have online exams, right? So all these are about digitalization. But now what we are talking about is AI, VR, AR, all right? Adaptive technology as the core subject or the tools. Okay. And for the personal one, we used to have this writing or the lab mastery, right? Writing, how good we are in writing journals, right? How good we are in doing our lab work, okay, or practical. Okay, but now today we are looking at digital and data fluency. Like for example, how good we are in using AI tools. Okay, especially for all our students, how good we are in utilizing AI tools without being caught by our lecturers. That is very important. Okay, so now there is a difference here, okay, or shift of initiative, all right? And then we need the knowledge on engineering, big data, and many other things. So for me, especially, I'm doing very much on many research or my work on environmental science, right? Especially on pollution of environmental science. Okay, so we used to use Excel in our data analysis, right? So that is maybe 20 years ago when we can use Excel, when we can use SPSS, when we can use MATLAB. I think we are consider ourselves good in research and data analysis. But now this one, all this knowledge is still useful, but a little bit outdated because what we face today is not just the data came from one or two stations. It comes from hundreds of stations. And we are dealing with more than 10,000 set of data every day. Every day. So if we want to get a trend over 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, we have no choice but to use AI. Okay, we have no choice. Okay, so that is what we call the change of the change on research initiative, right? So I want to jump to this cultural driver, okay, where we call that used to be in some of our institutes, yeah, institutes. Okay, we are looking at single authors or small groups of researchers who are the elites, all right? So I still remember when I first published my Q1 papers, right? My dean was very, very proud, saying that, okay, this paper was produced by my faculty member only. That means me, myself, my supervisor, my co-supervisors, all right? 3 of us published one paper. They are very happy, very proud. But after 20 years, now 2026, yeah. So if we publish paper with just one institute, it might not be favorable, especially in global ranking, especially in Malaysia for our university ranking. Okay, I think it will be the same for many other countries. They're actually looking at the collaboration as one of the key index. Okay, so then I will come back to this on the impact of this the impact, yeah, the drivers, the impact. We used to look at when we come to university, ladies and gentlemen, we used to look at the knowledge, how much knowledge that we learn from here. And for the lecturers, we look at, or researchers, how much knowledge that we can generate, right? How much paper that we can publish, how much Q1 paper that we can publish, right? So that is the impact many years ago. But now we are looking at societal impact. For example, translating the research output in solving SDGs, right? And how to solve the real world challenge. And when we look at the personal impact, right? So I just will say today is very different because we used to look at H index, number of publication, number of projects, right? How many keynote speech we attend. But now we have different things to look at, right? We'll look at something like policy adoption, how many IPs, public engagement, ladies and gentlemen, and how much our research or how much things that we have done have something to do with SDG, with solving global problems, right? So this is the different changes that we have. I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reason we are here today, to listen to each other, because we are looking at a very complex global issue now about arts, about language, about education. Okay, so these are very important things. And we have our students, I think, from anthropology. I think this is also very important for us because anthropology is something that we need to show what we call international audience on what we have and how we preserve our culture and history. So this is all on this, the impact driver here. Okay, so societal impact that we are looking at today. Okay, so of course, when we talk about internationalization, we talk about international global collaboration, we have benefits, but later on I will talk about challenge in a while. Okay, so for the benefits, okay, one of them is, I will say, very straightforward. We might not have the expert with us, sorry, a little bit, okay, but I would say maybe other country they have the experts. We might not have the equipment with us, but other country have the equipment. Okay, for example, in INTI International University, we work very closely with India, with China, with Indonesia on certain equipment and certain expertise, right? My group of researchers, we come from Macau, Hong Kong, mainland of China, from India, in Indonesia, in even Poland. Okay, so Lithuania, okay, for myself, okay, because we have different expertise. Okay, so I just give another example is many of our friends here, we might have some research project with us. Okay, so when we do it, like for example, INTI researchers, we do the research in Malaysia about education in Malaysia. It is a local research, okay, a single country research. But if we bring the same research, we duplicate it in Thailand, then it will become a international research. Okay, so another impact that I found very interesting, all right, some research found that the publication, the paper that we publish, online journals, with more than 3 countries, the co-authors, yeah, from more than 3 countries will attract 1.8 times more citation, yeah, compared to the papers that written by the authors from a single country. Yeah, that is very interesting. Okay, so now I want to go to the breaking the barriers of collaboration, especially the international collaboration. Yeah. Okay. I would say many of us might think in the way that, oh, come on, it's easy for you to say, okay, about international collaboration, but how we can do it, right? So this is some of my suggestion because everyone starts with 0. I start with 0 as well. Okay, I work in the National University of Malaysia before I graduate there. Okay, I come out fresh, okay, as a graduate and work in INTI International University for now 18 years. We start from zero as well. So now I wish to highlight a few of them, of the challenges, and my suggestion. Yeah. But today I will focus on the personal effort. Yeah, I focus on the personal effort. Of course, we have another one is an institutional effort, and another one is a national or systemic effort. Okay, but if I want to go through everything, okay, it might take another 2 hours. So I wish to cut it short. I focus on the personal effort today. So one is the power imbalance and inequality. Okay, for example, we have some systemic superiority and inferiority. Okay, so I want to highlight this in the way that not everyone is comfortable to work with everyone. Do you get what I mean? Not everyone is comfortable to work with everyone. So, ladies and gentlemen, to go international, okay, to pursue global collaboration, it is important for us, ourselves, to work with those we would like to work with. We feel comfortable to work with, okay? Or in other words, we can work with those who treat us equally, okay? Go for that first, okay? So that is one of the one point that I want to make. Okay, come. Oh, sorry. The next one. Okay, about the funding and financial barrier, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take this conference as one of the example. Okay, say that. Okay, some might say that international collaboration have to foster by dollar and cent. Okay, I totally agree with that. Okay, if we don't have enough funding, we might not be able to buy air ticket and fly to Thailand, okay, to join the conference, right? Correct or not? Okay, so some funding is required. I have to admit that, right? But I know that sometimes our university might not give the funding for that, for the research, for joining conference or so on, or publish paper. Okay, so I would say in the way to solve this or to overcome this, all right, we need to substitute high finance, okay, or finance support with personal creativity, initiative, and low cost opportunity. Okay, so I will say that, for example, okay, if we come to Thailand to join the conference, we might not afford very expensive airlines or expensive hotel accommodation. Okay, we might want to opt for a cheaper options that we have. All right, or I know many of our friends today, we might opt for the online presentation. All right, which is, I would say, in the way that it is another lower cost option for everyone. Right, so we can use our creativity to overcome this, right? So another one I will go through is the next one is administrative and bureaucratic hurdles. Like, for example, might have visa for some of our friends here to go to certain countries, institutional red tabs, right? And again, I will suggest that, okay, we should innovate within the limitation and focus on what we can do, what we can control. Okay, and then we should not focus on those we cannot control. For example, okay, if today we have some restriction on visa to go to certain countries, so in Malaysians way of expression, please don't die you want to go to that country. Can you get what I mean? Okay, okay, so that is what we call my advice on this matter. Yeah, and then the next one will be the cultural communication barrier. For example, language dominance, the different work culture. Okay, and again, I would say let's lead with the respect, inclusivity, and a proactive on a personal outreach. Okay, so the last one, but not least, is the trust and relation dynamics. Yeah. Okay, I think this is the most important one. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't control what happens around us. We can't, okay? So, but we can control ourselves, correct? So make ourselves okay, a person with trust, all right, so that people will trust us. People will start to respect us. They will see our work, okay, and they will start to respect us. And with that, we might start with a very small collaboration, but this type of collaboration like today, okay, INTI, Silpakorn, we all together, we start the spark of collaboration. It might start small, okay, but the snowball effect, it will roll and it will become bigger. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, okay, this is some of my advice. But of course, okay, if you want to listen to my story, I can talk more on that, okay, after this session. Yeah. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, again, go back to the question that I asked, okay, in my title, okay, on how fast and how far we can go. Okay, actually the answer is depend on the question, what is your limit? All right, what is your limit? So ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all, okay, for my presentation. But before I end my session, I wish to show some photos of my university. So ladies and gentlemen, you are most welcome to visit us. Okay, so they have a green campus initiative with solar panels to generate 35% of the total campus electricity demand, and we have research facilities, and these are the research center, and these are some of our campus facilities. Okay, with that, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Dr. Wong, for that inspiring address. Really interesting, your insights, right, on how we can adapt our collaboration to our circumstances, and really how true sustainable research cannot be done in isolation, right? It requires us to build strong borderless bridges to really grow together and have a larger impact of our research. Thank you, Dr. Wong.
All right, now moving forward, our fifth keynote speaker is a visionary artist and educator who plays an important role in driving cultural policies forward. Representing Silpakorn University, our speaker will speak on the topic, The Canvas of Change, Art Education as a Catalyst for Sustainable Action. Please welcome Assistant Professor Dr. Vichaya Mukdamanee, Vice President for Art and Culture, Silpakorn University.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much for the invitation from the Faculty of Archaeology, the Princess Sirinthorn Anthropology Center, and also INTI for joining our conference in Thailand this time. And ladies and gentlemen, so I'm presenting under the topic of the canvas of change, arts education as a catalyst for sustainable action. So it is a real pleasure to see so many of familiar and new faces from everywhere here and also online. I often joke that I live my life between two very different desks. One desk is at the university, covered with official policies, administrative files, and strategic plans. The other is in my studio. I have a studio at home. My background is a painter, so I have a paint splatter, sketches, and I like to call my studio as a creative chaos. I try to work with a lot of things going on at the same time. For a long time, I believe these two worlds were separated, but recently I have begun to see how deeply they actually can connect it. Um, so we are living through a time of profound transformation marked by environmental crisis, social fragmentation, cultural uncertainty, and rapid technology changes. In such a world, we can no longer rely on old ways of thinking, old education methods, or old boundaries between disciplines may no longer reliable today. The world no longer asks only for art's sakes or education for just a degree's sake. I believe a lot of students, especially my students, starting to look at Google more than looking at my lectures. And sometimes they are relying on the tutorial online more than just listen to me asking me how to paint. So increasingly, it asks for art and education in the service of something else. I think humanities, what we are, may be the key question of education and art. So today, under our theme, the canvas of change, I would like to share three shifts in mindsets that I believe are essential if arts education is to become a catalyst for the sustainable future we urgently need. So shift one, teaching to see, not just to look. Let me begin with the first shift. Sustainability is a very large and often intimidating word. Many people turn away from it because environmental and social problems feel too overwhelming, too complex, or too distant from our everyday life. But as an artist and educators, I truly believe change often begins much closer to home. The first thing we teach an art student is not simply how to produce an object. We teach them how to really see. To see carefully is to notice relationships, not just to look at objects. It is to notice fragile space, overlooked communities, emotional realities, and the texture of everyday life. This kind of seeing is not passive observation, it is the beginning of empathy. And in many ways, seeing is the first step of being fully human. It's a bit funny to tell we have to teach our students to become more human, but I believe in many of our colleagues here know what I means. Becoming more human become I think is more and more increasingly important if we want to get through this period of transition. In my studio art and design courses, we teach students not only to develop technical skill, but to translate what they see and experience into form. So it's not copying, but more like expressing, to portray, to interpret, and realize the world through artistic practice. This way of thinking is now becoming increasingly important in the context of sustainability. If students learn to see deeply, they begin to care. The word care is important. If they begin to care, they begin to act. And when action grows out of care and sustainability is no longer just an abstract form, it becomes a lived practice rooted in attention, empathy, and responsibility. Point two, collaboration as a new ecosystems. The second shift is about how we work. So for me, the first role of art education is to teach us to teach our students what matters, prioritizing. The second shift is about how we work. This conference itself is a beautiful bridge between Thailand and Malaysia, between Silpakorn and INTI. It reminds us that although our techniques may differ, our approach to education may be different, but our canvas is shared. At the heart of sustainability is in the no single discipline, institution, or profession can address today's challenges alone. And Professor Wong already mentioned that very well in the previous presentation. We must move away from silo thinking and toward collaborations. In art world, there are so many examples of young collective group of artists that focusing more on collaborative platform using art as an action more than just an object. So it is increasingly true that in art and design, artists today are not only making objects in studios, more and more they are facilitating process, building relationships, and working across discipline. It is in this context, collaboration is no longer just a method, but it becomes the medium by itself. Sorry. So this academic year, my faculty, I'm also teaching at the Faculty of Painting, Sculpture, and Graphic Arts at Silpakorn University, apart from my the management role. We're launching a new program called the Bachelor of Arts program in Art and Management for Society. The first group of students already been accepted. This new program responds directly to the world we are now living in. It is designed to prepare students not only to create individual work of art, but also to facilitate participatory process in which art becomes just a vehicle for community building, social engagement, and well-being. I'll briefly explain the curriculum a bit. First, it provides a foundation in interdisciplinary thinking. The course like introduction to psychology for art and social integration helps students understand human behavior, emotion, and community dynamic. Social science and anthropology for art. I was going to ask the director, maybe we can collaborate in the future. I might bring art students to learn here about anthropology and social science. Second, it builds practical collaboration skills. So we have a course, a subject like concepts of interdisciplinary art project. Students learn how to work across different fields in response to the real world project, the real world situation. The third is emphasize field work and community engagement through subjects like art for society and well-being project. And we also have the course called entrepreneurial I'm sorry, entrepreneurial and management skills, course like art management and entrepreneurship for society and research for entrepreneurship. So there are, of course, similar courses happening around the world, and especially in many other universities in Thailand as well. But what is exciting here at Silpakorn is the clear recognition that arts education must now prepare students for a much wider range of roles. So my faculty for 80 years, we mainly producing artists. Now we are shifting to artists that can apply art to the actual situation in the world. The traditional mode of art education, where student works alone in studios, perfecting their project, perfecting their technique, is no longer enough, in my opinion, for today. So we expect our graduate in the next 4 years to know how to listen, how to deeply listen to our community, how to facilitate dialogue among different stakeholders. Artists work alone, but this new batch of students need to work with others. How to manage collaborative projects, how to navigate cultural differences and sensitivity and imagination, learning the word like care, empathic, I'm sorry, uh, empathy, and also becoming active participants in building more sustainable communities. Shift 3, human depth in the AI era. So my third and final point concern the period we are living through now, are one shaped by the rapid technological disruption, especially the rise of AI. I think AI has been coming to most of the conference I attended and most of the conference I also presented. I believe in this conference as well, AI is a big word, big word. So for me, it's not just technology, but I think it's a mindset. AI is not just disrupting the way we act, but it disrupting the way we think. Let me acknowledge that around June, we Silpakorn University had one conference in art and science, and the co-host representatives who came to that conference, including Professor Li Jinghua from Wuhan University in China, Professor Dr. Ling Dearborn from the University of Illinois Urbana, Dr. Timothy Diaoyer from LaSalle College of the Arts Singapore, and Dr. Bridget Tracy Tan from Nanyang Academy of Fine Arts Singapore. We share about AI and how to respond to AI. We pointed toward a shared message that in an age of technological acceleration, arts education must remain grounded in human depth. Professor Lee from China reminds us that archaeology looks at past of art and design but we now need to look forward to the future. AI can help. Archaeology, archaeology in this sense is evidence of the long evolution history of art and design. This is an important reminder that creativity does not emerge out of nowhere, always shaped by memory, heritage, and continuity. The question is, how can we take technology and apply it to create stronger memory, stronger heritage, and stronger continuity? Professor Dearborn emphasizes that unbounded creativity must be built on a strong foundation, including knowledge, skill, and ethical understandings. How can we use AI to make us realizing more about ethical understandings? We need to respect more for ourselves and also for others, and the discernment to focus on what truly matter. In the age of AI and technology disruption, one of the most crisis, in my opinion, is we lack of ability to prioritize what is more important than what. So I find this especially important today when speed and novelty are often valued more than reflection. Dr. Timothy Dowyer also spoke about being truly international, not simply in terms of mobility or global branding, but to maintain constant curiosity about other people. Also, not just only difficult to prioritize, we are becoming more difficult to be more curious about anything. With the technology disruption, people, communities, and cultures starting to be less looked at. Dr. Timothy connected his international mindset with interdisciplinary and the capacity to communicate across differences, which need curiosity as a main tool. Finally, Dr. Bridget Tan from Singapore also spoke about the need to critically evaluate technology while keeping history and heritage in view to recognize our place within wider communities and to engage society with courage, care, and craftsmanship. So these words like craft, care, craftsmanship, concern, empathy, care, all of this happen a lot when we talk about AI nowadays. So the question is, what kind of human beings are we educating? If arts education only trains students to produce faster, then we misunderstood its deeper purpose. But if it helps the students cultivate judgment, ethics, sensitivity, curiosity, and responsibility, then the education is still remain essential, perhaps even more essential than before. Because art education is not only about products, it's about process. It's about learning to stay with uncertainty and to make choices with care, to connect knowledge with values, and to create in ways that remain accountable to society. In this sense, art education in the AI era must do more than teach students how to use tools. It must help them understand why they create and whom they create for and what responsibilities come with that act of creation. So, my final slides, I would like to talk a bit about this canvas of change. So, distinguished guests, new forms of art and education have become urgently necessary. How do we teach our students to recognize the process more than the products? How to teach them to learn and be aware that they are living in the period of uncertainty? How to encourage them to be courage enough to make choices with care? And how to teach them to realize the important, very, very important, that knowledge is not just about just the things to make you smart, but it's the thing to make you be able to value and to connect. So as we begin this dialogue today, let us put aside our official administrative hat for a moment and speak instead as a fellow creators. Let us see greater challenge and sustainability is not as an impossible burden, but is a blank canvas. waiting for our collaboration. I hope you enjoy. If we can foster this kind of ecosystem, if we can foster this kind of thought to our students, our rooted in empathy, collaboration, responsibility, and courage, then I think we can still see the future of our art education. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Vichaya, for that really inspiring address. Really interested in the ways that you can merge arts and social science lenses in collaborative ways to really bolster creative industries for sustainable impact. In that way, how arts education can really serve as a living, dynamic canvas capable of sparking profound social change and action. So thank you very much, Dr. Vichaya. Next, we'll be transitioning into a brief 20-minute coffee break. We'd like to request that you all return to your seats by 10:30 for our final plenary speaker. We'll take a quick coffee break now that will be in the room where the right just outside of the dining hall to refresh and network. And please do come back by 10:30 for our next speaker. Thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And for your information, you can all watch the live on Facebook page, SAC on Facebook. And you can also watch the recordings after the conference days. Yeah, so please feel free to scan the QR code to access the SAC channel on Facebook page or YouTube or even Facebook. Yeah. All right. And please
Thank
enjoy
you. Enjoy your break. See you
break time.
soon. Yes. Thank you.
At ASICE2026, we explore how creative actions breathe new life into our heritage. Here in our BA program in English at the Faculty of Archaeology, we are redefining the modern-day curriculum. We don't just teach English, but we also provide the linguistic key to digital humanities, where language meets data to uncover hidden patterns of our history. Our focus is the human-digital synthesis. By merging innovation with creativity, we transform education into the powerful methodology for cross-cultural research. We use the English language as a global bridge, ensuring that our arts and heritage remain visible, relevant, and sustainable in an increasingly digital landscape. Step into the future of cross-cultural discovery. We look forward to seeing you at ASICE 2026.
Discover the soul of humanity with the Faculty of Archaeology, Silpakorn University. At the Faculty of Archaeology, we believe that true innovation stems from interdisciplinary synergy. As Thailand's only faculty dedicated to the profound study of humanity, from advanced excavation to ancient languages, we bridge the past and the future through the power of culture and language. As the primary host of ASICE2026, we are honored to work alongside our esteemed partner, INTI International University, Malaysia, and the Princess Mahachakri Srinthorn Anthropology Center. Together, we are creating a global platform where heritage meets digital humanities to foster sustainability in education and the arts. We invite you to be part of this inspiring academic journey. On behalf of the Faculty of Archaeology, Silpakorn University, I look forward to welcoming you all to ASICE2026 this August.
As the co-host and the official venue partner, the Princess Mahachakri Sirinthorn Anthropology Center is honored to welcome you to ASICE2026, a platform where global knowledge knows no bounds, a hybrid hub for global wisdom. Within these walls, we provide a space to explore the vital intersection of language and education and the cultural studies. Beyond tradition, we are a hub for digital humanities, utilizing technology to make cultural wisdom accessible to all. Our mission is to drive the Sustainable Development Goals by fostering a society rooted in inclusion, ethics, and a deep respect for human diversity. To ensure that every voice can be heard, ASICE2026 is held in a hybrid format. You can join us on site here at our center to experience the vibrant atmosphere and networking opportunities, or participate online from anywhere in the world, breaking all barriers to learning. Whether we meet here in Bangkok or connect through the screen, we look forward to welcoming you on August 13 and 14 at ASICE2026. See you there.
We are surrounded by the echoes of our ancestors, yet much of our heritage remains locked in the past, static, silent, and slowly fading from our collective memory. The current situation requires more than just preservation. It requires engagement. By leveraging digital humanity, we can make our history dynamic, community-led, and accessible to all, bridging the gap between the ancient wisdom and a digital tomorrow. It is time to transform our heritage from a relic of the past into a living catalyst for the future. Join us as we explore the digital horizon of culture.
Is art just for galleries, or can it actually help save the world? We face complex global challenges that logic and data alone have not solved. For too long, we have viewed the art as luxury, a mere decoration to our lives rather than a necessity. The current situation demands a radical shift. Arts education is not just about aesthetics. It is a catalyst for sustainable action. By utilizing the creative process, we can spark social innovation and design tangible solutions for our planet's most pressing problems.
It is time to pick up the brush of change, discover how creativity becomes the ultimate tool for a sustainable future.
Our history is fading. How do we bring it back to life for the next generation? Behind every relic lies a heartbeat. To remember is not to look backward, but to awaken our collective story. Is art just for galleries, or can it actually help save the world? When imagination meets purpose, creativity becomes our most powerful tool for ecological and social harmony. In the digital age, is language just a way to speak? Or is it the data that connects our world? Language is the code of civilization. Through innovation, we translate diversity into universal understanding. In an era of rapid digital transformation, are we losing our connection to each other? Or can technology actually help us understand what it means to be human? At the intersection of human wisdom and digital horizons lies the true future of education. 4 interdisciplinary tracks, 1 shared mission, uniting language and education, cultural studies, digital humanities, and creative action for the Sustainable Development Goals.
At ASICE2026, we explore how creative actions breathe new life into our heritage. Here in our BA program in English at the Faculty of Archaeology, we are redefining the modern-day curriculum. We don't just teach English, but we also provide the linguistic key to digital humanities, where language meets data to uncover hidden patterns of our history. Our focus is the human-digital synthesis. By merging innovation with creativity, we transform education into the powerful methodology for cross-cultural research. We use the English language as a global bridge, ensuring that our arts and heritage remain visible, relevant, and sustainable in an increasingly digital landscape. Step into the future of cross-cultural discovery. We look forward to seeing you at ASICE 2026.
Discover the soul of humanity with the Faculty of Archaeology, Silpakorn University. At the Faculty of Archaeology, we believe that true innovation stems from interdisciplinary synergy. As Thailand's only faculty dedicated to the profound study of humanity, from advanced excavation to ancient languages, we bridge the past and the future through the power of culture and language. As the primary host of ASICE 2026, We are honored to work alongside our esteemed partner, INTI International University, Malaysia, and the Princess Mahachakri Srinthorn Anthropology Center. Together, we are creating a global platform where heritage meets digital humanities to foster sustainability in education and the arts. We invite you to be part of this inspiring academic journey. On behalf of the Faculty of Archaeology, Silpakorn University, I look forward to welcoming you all to ASICE2026 this August.
As the co-host and the official venue partner, the Princess Mahachakri Srinthorn Anthropology Center is honored to welcome you to ASICE2026, a platform where global knowledge knows no bounds, a hybrid hub for global wisdom. Within these walls, we provide a space to explore the vital intersection of language and education and the cultural studies. Beyond tradition, we are a hub for digital humanities, utilizing technology to make cultural wisdom accessible to all. Our mission is to drive the Sustainable Development Goals by fostering a society rooted in inclusion, ethics, and a deep respect for human diversity. To ensure that every voice can be heard, ASICE2026 is held in a hybrid format. You can join us on site here at our center to experience the vibrant atmosphere and networking opportunities, or participate online from anywhere in the world, breaking all barriers to learning. Whether we meet here in Bangkok or connect through the screen, we look forward to welcoming you on August 13 and 14 at ASICE2026. See you there.
We are surrounded by the echoes of our ancestors, yet much of our heritage remains locked in the past, static, silent, and slowly fading from our collective memory. The current situation requires more than just preservation. It requires engagement by leveraging digital humanity. We can make our history dynamic, community-led, and accessible to all, bridging the gap between the ancient wisdom and a digital tomorrow. It is time to transform our heritage from a relic of the past into a living catalyst for the future. Join us as we explore the digital horizon of culture.
Is art just for galleries, or can it actually help save the world? We face complex global challenges that logic and data alone have not solved. For too long, we have viewed the art as luxury, a mere decoration to our lives rather than a necessity. The current situation demands a radical shift. Arts education is not just about aesthetics. It is the catalyst for sustainable action. By utilizing the creative process, we can spark social innovation and design tangible solutions for our planet's most pressing problems. It is time to pick up the brush of change, discover how creativity becomes the ultimate tool for a sustainable future.
Our history is fading. How do we bring it back to life for the next generation? Behind every relic lies a heartbeat. To remember is not to look backward, but to awaken our collective story. Is art just for galleries, or can it actually help save the world? When imagination meets purpose, creativity becomes our most powerful tool for ecological and social harmony. In the digital age, is language just a way to speak? Or is it the data that connects our world? Language is the code of civilization. Through innovation, we translate diversity into universal understanding. In an era of rapid digital transformation, are we losing our connection to each other? Or can technology actually help us understand what it means to be human? At the intersection of human wisdom and digital horizons lies the true future of education. 4 interdisciplinary tracks, 1 shared mission, uniting language and education, cultural studies, digital humanities, and creative action for the Sustainable Development Goals.
At ASICE2026, we explore how creative actions breathe new life into our heritage. Here in our BA program in English at the Faculty of Archaeology, we are redefining the modern-day curriculum. We don't just teach English, but we also provide the linguistic key to digital humanities, where language meets data to uncover hidden patterns of our history. Our focus is the human digital synthesis. By merging innovation with creativity, we transform education into the powerful methodology for cross-cultural research. We use the English language as a global bridge, ensuring that our arts and heritage remain visible, relevant, and sustainable in an increasingly digital landscape. Step into the future of cross-cultural discovery. We look forward to seeing you at ASICE 2026.
Discover the soul of humanity with the Faculty of Archaeology, Silpakorn University. At the Faculty of Archaeology, we believe that true innovation stems from interdisciplinary synergy. as Thailand's only faculty dedicated to the profound study of humanity, from advanced excavation to ancient languages. We bridge the past and the future through the power of culture and language. As the primary host of ASICE,
We are now moving directly into our specialized plenary session for track 4, SDGs, Impact, and Creative Action. To guide us through this discussion, our next plenary speaker will present on the topic Values-Driven Sustainability, Bridging Ethics and Action for Local Impacts. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Suma. The stage is yours, Dr. Suma.
Hello, everyone. I have to thank all of you who are helping with the emceeing this whole thing, and also the staff here, and all our students, and my colleagues and friends. That's Dr. Renee and Mariam coming. Dr. Mariam, please. I'll wait for you to sit. Yeah. So I started off with SDG in 2000, actually 2000, from Thailand, from the school, Lamnarai School, where the United Nations implemented education, and I assessed it for my PhD. So I actually, I'm quite close to SDG. SDG is Sustainable Developmental Goals. And I asked Dr. Dia, is it okay if I can do it on SDG? She said, yes, in this university you can, and we create awareness on sustainable developmental goals. Even way back in 2000, what I learned was that by 2030, UNESCO has already declared that there is going to be water crisis. Not everywhere. Some of the countries will not even have fresh drinking water. And none of us are exposed to this fact in education unless you touch the topic on SDG. So in reality, we do not know the suffering that is coming in front of us without understanding what SDG is. So for me, the journey has been very interesting. Coming to INTI after my time in Thailand, I hope Dr. Renee doesn't disclose this. Can you guess which place is this? China where? Harbin. Oh, who's that? Who answered that? Thank you. Okay, this is Harbin. Okay, I'm just taking a case study from Harbin. We always like to know of countries which we haven't seen or we don't know what the situation is about. So it's very close to Russian border, and so you have that building that looks like a Russian building. And I enjoyed going to China and seeing the difference in culture there. So Harbin is a very cold country, especially towards November and December. Very cold, extremely cold. So I was looking at the SDG or the issue in Harbin, and it showed me that Harbin has its own culture, but they have their own problems with climate change. So I wanted to know more about SDG and climate change in Harbin. So I actually asked you all to request you all to go and visit Harbin. We had a very good time. There's Chinese mix there. You see Russian people, and on the streets you pass by shops like you see in UK. It was very beautiful. The experience of going to Harbin. Now looking at the problems that in Harbin, when I looked, this happens everywhere, every country. But I'm looking how Harbin can be helped with SDG. We need to think about questions like who suffers the most if this goes wrong? Is the benefit of this action short term? money now or long term? Does this action deplete a resource that cannot be replaced? Would this decision be acceptable if every company in the world did it? Whatever we are doing with business, are we exporting the harm to a community that has no voice to explain? So this happened to me when I was in Johor. We have factories there. And what was sad is people from Singapore had invested money in Johor, which is a place nearby. And they had this huge titanium factory. And my husband told me that if the titanium factory leaked the gas, the whole of Bandar Sri Alam will be destroyed. And this was such a eye-opener to know that a country is making money of another place, profit, where the people can be destroyed and nobody knows what is going to happen in future. So trying to think about the issues of how Australia has bought land in Kuantan and the radioactive materials are being thrown into the ocean and people in Kuantan are not aware of it. But the profit goes to Australia. So today I'm quite brave at my age to say that I'm happy to inform these problems that students are not aware of, young students are not aware of. So we have to take care of our own country, our own locality. And why today I brought this to Silpakorn is through arts, you can also bring awareness of climate change, the problems that you have in your own country. And you have to research on the data in Thailand itself to find out how we can help Thailand to be better in the future. So Harbin like I said, Harbin is a beautiful place. It has a cold climate zone. And you have bamboo growing in southern China. And what you see is that bamboo is very strong, just like iron. And you can, bend it, build it. You can make beautiful things out of bamboo. It's very natural. It doesn't give out any emission, or you don't have to be paying too much money to maintain bamboo. If you want to build a building with bamboo. And in Chinese, if you look at the humanities, bamboo represents integrity, humility, and resilience. So here the culture is there. Okay, Harbin culture is restored through bamboo, the values that you see in the use of bamboo. And in Harbin, the Ice and Snow Festival is a cultural heart. There's a growing movement to integrate bamboo structures. Now, why I brought this is, I thought that in Silpakorn, you can even adapt art for climate action to see how we can improve climate action. Natural bamboo cannot grow in Harbin's minus 30 degrees. That's how cold Harbin is during winter. And you see, they have, unless you have greenhouse it takes a lot of energy. In high latitude regions, the freeze-thaw cycle can cause untreated bamboo to crack or delaminate. AI data. Now, here's where you can use AI for art. Current agricultural AI models like Shennong are heavily optimized for corn and soy. But data on bamboo cultivation in permafrost adjacent soil is still sparse. We don't have still on bamboo cultivation, and we do not know much facts about bamboo. So this is what AI gave me. If you have wood, if you have bamboo, if you laminate bamboo, then you can have beautiful buildings in Harbin in such a cold place where you do not have much investment to make in buildings. So AI brings the facts from all the disciplines and tells you that when you laminate bamboo, it can if you don't laminate bamboo, what happens? The bamboo structure is such that during cold winters, below minus 30 degrees, the inside of the bamboo will have some cracks. So it's not durable for the city for long term. So that is why laminating bamboo is supposed to be good, and AI gives you new answers, new vision, new thinking. So this is about AI and how it's going to help us. I'm going to go to look at this, how AI is helping us to actually look at the structure of bamboo and to see the small integrated aerogel insulation core where it keeps the heat. And you can have a beautiful place with wooden bamboo, the way you like it, and they give you even the architecture. So AI brings in from many disciplines, and like Professor Vichaya actually mentioned that you can actually bring in education and art together, art and science and education. This is going to be a very beautiful future if we think right. We can also have structures that are man-made that can mimic bamboo and build construction. Okay. See, this is what AI gave me when I said, give me a beautiful picture that can be built in Harbin with bamboo and low cost. At the same time, it protects us from the very hard winter. Minus 30 degrees is really low. And you can see how beautiful the building looks. It's just made of bamboo. Am I right? It looks beautiful. So how did I get those answers from AI? I prompted using De Bono's hats, thinking hats. De Bono's thinking hats can be done in languages, in science, in arts, in technology. It can be done in all subjects, all disciplines. The first one is reflection. You can reflect about how to make it successful, your country successful. Red hat, intuition and feelings. Feelings about the people, about the poverty, about rich people who can give to society. Yellow hat is optimistic judgment. This is done by a French person called De Bono. Okay? And white hat is available and required information. Black hat is the risk that you take when you think of a new project, a new innovation. And green hat is creative and alternative ideas that you can have. So all these 6 hats, if you take it to your classroom for art, for science, for mathematics, as well as for language, we find that we can bring in new solution. We can connect head, heart, and hands, as Dr. Tirakiat mentioned the first day. You can connect all the 3 for your own community. So you see, the white hat is for facts and data. So I took the data from on bamboo for Harbin, put it into AI, okay? And then the red hat, emotions and intuition. What is the culture of Harbin? How do Chinese people live their life and the community culture there? Black hat, what is the risk if we do something new? Yellow hat is the benefit, blue hat, process and strategy. And what AI does is wonderful. It brings all the information from science, from languages, from mathematics. And that is why it taught me that you can build bamboo, laminated bamboo in Harbin. And when I did this for knowledge transfer in Harbin, a person from the architecture faculty, he actually came up to me asking how to do, because they're not using AI. So thinking forward is not easy in the future without using AI. So this is how the 6 hats prompt us to give us new ideas. We can take it from standard, from grade 6 to higher education on De Bono's hats. So in Silpakorn, I put it into Google asking what is the issue in Silpakorn if we are going to use the 6 hats, and this is what it said. White hat, what does the research say? X amount of historical textile traditions are dying out in this region, or plastic waste in local rivers has increased by 30%. That's a white hat. Red hat, how does the community feel about this? So if we get our students to think about this, how does the community feel? What story does the art need to tell to evoke empathy or pride? So you add the feelings of the community. From yesterday, we were hearing about engagement. So engaging the community with their feelings is very important in art. Yellow hat, black hat, what could go wrong? And yellow hat, what's ultimate value? Reviving local craft traditions creates youth employment while preserving ancestral heritage. Green hat, what's a fresh angle? Instead of a static gallery exhibition, we can build an interactive augmented reality mural. A beautiful one that's interactive. Yes? So new ideas for old tradition. And then you have blue hat, outline the steps from concept to community implementation, measuring impact against specific SDG indicators. You all know there are 17 goals. And the 17 goals will merge one day because of AI. So art can be used to address and create awareness about climate change. I would also request Silpakorn students who are in art faculty to also explore climate action using art. Because it's very important. Last year when I was here, there was earthquake. So every year there's some disaster somewhere in the world. So to bring this awareness, we can think about artwork connected to climate action as well. So this is what I got when I put in the 6 hats, just something new from AI. I could connect the first one, white hat, red hat, black hat, the risk, yellow is the hope, the green, and that blue is innovation. So you connect yourself to all aspects of human life. So this is just the 6 hats that I really want to bring into classroom. I found that it really brings interest in all human dimensions. You think about your own community, you think about yourself, you think about people's feelings and your feelings. Because you need to make sure that art is for the community. My teacher from Thailand told me art is from the heart. And the heart is in the community as well. So it's very important to think of the community. So this is Edward de Bono's 6 thinking hats. It came from the business and management school. But de Bono's hats can be used everywhere because education and business is connected through technology now. Okay. So you see here a farm with Mexicans actually trying to harvest avocado. So I did this with Uzbekistan teachers. They came to INTI University, and like Prof. Wong said, there's a number of collaborations that we have. So they came for training to INTI University, and we did, a few of us here also trained the teachers. And this is the case study I took for SDG for Mexicans. The story of Mexican avocados to US. So you could see, you can have a role play. It's very interesting in your art classes. Group 1, the farmers, you become the farmer. So I did this online, and the Uzbek teachers were very excited. One group became the farmer. They have to sell avocado to survive the season and pay for family needs. Key constraint, they need cash immediately. Farmers need cash every day. So they cannot wait, unlike other businesses. Group 2, the certifiers, they must ensure every shipment is pest-free. They must be physically present in the fields, putting them at risk of threat. So certify. So once the avocado is taken from the field, the certifiers will certify to say the avocado is good. So they put a label there, yeah, before it goes to US. So US actually takes avocado. And then the syndicate. So you have a gangster group there. So one role play is by the gangsters who disagree unless they are paid. They will take it from the certifiers and give it to US, export it to the small farm markets there. Yeah. The group 4 is the supermarket buyers. They need continuous supply of avocado so that they make their money. So you see all along how people make money. The certifiers take money, the gangsters take money, the farmers are the ones who are affected, and group 3, the syndicate, they control across the border, and group 4, supermarket, they are waiting for the avocados from Mexico. So round 1, context, normal trading, high global demand, market is stable, farmers grow the crop, syndicate collects their $1 per tray of avocado, certifiers will check the field, supermarket buy the stamped avocado, and outcome, everyone makes money. Everybody has money, okay? But now the border is closed, like COVID. So the avocado cannot cross over to US. And then the global price, scarcity. You don't have avocados. Local price, crash. Ethical dilemma is farmers have rotting fruit and no income. Will you sell your avocados to the local black market for money just to eat? Or in the case of supermarkets, their shelves are empty. So do you offer the syndicate bribes to get the border closure? Certifiers, your safety is guaranteed by US. Now, why I brought this whole case study is because I found that de Bono's hats helped me to think more and gave me more facts. You need to check your facts, but de Bono's hats really help you when you do a project. And it makes you think for the community as well. So here you have consequence and harm, you have rights and duties, virtue-based ethics, your character, pluralism, values for SDG, so that we make sure that our community is safe, our family is safe, our children are safe for the future. Okay. Yeah, problem. Standard education models often lack empathy building. We don't think about caring. But that's where, when we use AI, we can use some aspect of pedagogy where you can actually bring empathy in. And then this SDG 8, decent work and economic growth. Problem, traditional craftspeople and local artisans losing livelihoods due to mass production. Too much production for commercialization and profit. And so what happens? The culture will get liquidified. The culture will soon be dissolved. And this is what Thai culture, we all come to Thailand because of the culture here. Yes, we want to see, enjoy, and experience the culture. So this is something we have to think about in the future. Art solution, developing sustainable business models for the creative economy, like ethical fashion. So I asked AI, what is ethical fashion? Yeah, because we know fashion, but we don't know what is ethical fashion. So let me go to that. I will just move forward. So this is what AI gave me. Can you look at the figure on the far left? That was the first figure. And that reminded me of Mahatma Gandhi in India, who actually built the hand spinning. So we're going back to old days for sustainability. The second picture, I said, no, the youths don't like that fashion. Give me a better dress. And this is what AI gave me. The last two pictures are from, it's still the same. It's still hand woven, spun by hand, so that we don't have toxic materials and dyes that we throw in the river. So sustainability is about protecting your own country, not about fashion and making money, because in the long run, you are actually destroying the environment. So Malaysia, I said, okay, how should we live in Malaysia for a sustainable life in the future? And it gave this picture of palm oil trees, the river flowing there, and the food, the oil, very simple life. So that we are not destroying our rivers. Like I said, we have factories now that has come to our country. They're taking the profit and they're throwing the toxins into the river. Yeah. So this is the Uzbek teachers. I just wanted to share the picture with you. They built that little house there. I just gave them some sticks and sellotape, and they made that small place there. And then they really did a role play there, and they enjoyed. So I believe this will secondary schools will also enjoy, and also higher education. They will like SDG. So this lady has come there to buy a house. And she's talking to them about what kind of house it is, and they're saying that it's very stable, and their place is very innovative, beautiful, and modern, and they're trying to sell a sustainable house to her. So this is the role play that we did in INTI University, I think last year. Yeah, and then there's the same QR code that I'm showing you from Prof. Wong. My presentation is over, and thank you very much. I have sent this to the Dean Faculty of Education. Hopefully, you all can use the QR code and pass it to other faculties as well for consent form. So that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suma, for that really enlightening and interesting talk, right? Bringing together arts and sciences, which dovetailed well with Dr. Vichaya's speech, to really reimagine possibilities, and very many examples there. Personally, I found the Haben bamboo house and construction really quite fascinating and interesting and inspiring. So thank you for showing us how to really bring ethics and values into sustainability, and how that can transform abstract global goals into more concrete local impact. Thank you so much, Dr. Suma, for that speech.
Right. Now, scholars and delegates, it is time to transition into our parallel sessions. Research papers will be presented concurrently across 3 different rooms, including auditorium here, where we are now together, room 402, which is located on the 4th floor here, and 602, located on the 6th floor.
So please consult your digital conference booklet. Again, you can find all of the materials via your QR at the bottom of your name tag. So if you're lacking any physical copies, you can find the exact schedule, room assignments, and the topics in each room. So you can head straight to the session of your choice and switch between them, between sessions if you'd like. A few quick pointers. We're a little bit behind schedule. So what we'll do is we'll keep lunch break. We'll kind of start maybe around 12 o'clock whenever we finish finished the first set of sessions just now.
Mhm.
So for lunch, please do make sure that you're back here, back at your parallel sessions promptly by 1 p.m. so that we can stay on track. I know it's the second day, Friday. We want to try to make sure we're on track to finish on time today, in time for the weekend. Following, the sessions, please break for lunch and then be back by 1 o'clock. After the lunch break, we'll resume the parallel sessions and there will be another brief afternoon break for you. Please also stay for the grand finale. It might be tempting to slip away, considering that it's our second day and maybe we're all feeling a bit fatigued, but please stick around with us until the end because we'll have an afternoon of presentations lined up as well as our ASICE award and closing ceremony where we'll be honoring our best presenters, celebrating track winners, and wrapping up this amazing 2-day journey together. So we really don't want you to miss that.
All right, and one more thing regarding program evaluation form, we do value your feedback. So please take a quick moment during the day to complete the overall program evaluation. You can access it simply by scanning your QR code located at the bottom of your name tag. Right. So yeah, please enjoy the morning presentation. Everyone have a fantastic breakout sessions, and we will see you back here for lunch again. Thank you very much.
Good morning or almost afternoon to ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to day 2 parallel sessions of the ASICE Conference 2026. My name is Thanacha Sijan and today I will be the moderator of these sessions. Before we start, there are two informations that I would like the presenter to know. Each presenter will have 10 minutes for the presentation and 5 minutes for the Q&A sessions. Another information is that the certificates for each presenter will be issued within 2 weeks after the conference have completed. Now, let's not waste our time. Let's begin with our first presentations. Our first presenter is Li Ping, and her presentation topic is Government-led public digital learning platforms in a global perspective, current landscape, and future directions. Please join me in welcoming Li Ping.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Li Ping. I come from INTI University. So my supervisor, Dr. Renee. Today, I will pleased to present my study, Government-led public digital learning platforms, a global perspective on the current landscape and future directions. This study conducted by Dr. Liu Jiahao, Dr. Renee, and Dr. Wang Qiang. So let's look at the study matters. Digital learning has three very important elements. So the first is connectivity, the second is capacity, and the third is the content. So the connectivity means that the learners can get online, and the capacity means the people can use the digital technology. And the content means that the resource may be available online. So therefore, we have research questions. How well do national platforms translate public investment into accessible, inclusive, and effective learning experience? This study research design, we use the three-stage benchmarking process. The first, we selected the representative cases that build the evaluation framework. Then we explore the website and test registration, review documents and scores independently. So then we cross-check assignment resolve differences with evidence. Then we evaluated the platform in 3 dimensions: availability, inclusivity, and usability. This slide is platform the landscape. So our exam 22 digital platforms, the 20 government-led platforms, and the 2 global reference cases. The global reference cases include the UNICEF's Learning Passport and Khan Academic. So the government-led platform include 11 come from Europe, and 3 come from Asia, and 2 each from the Africa, North America, and each come from the Oceania and the South America. So the sample was selected purposefully according to platform quality, influence, diversity, and international recognition. Okay, this is our first finding, concerns the governments. So the governments are supporting the ecosystems. Government provide fundings and oversight. The partners and organization operate and develop the digital platform. Like the OK National Academic from the United Kingdom. And the second platform becomes a core part of education transformation. It supports the resources system integration, data enable, and education management. The example include the Germany, Switzerland, and Egypt. So more than half of the platforms operate as strategic national infrastructure, requiring long-term policy, funding, and technical support. This is the second funding available and the inclusivity. So basic access is strong, meaningful inclusion still has gaps. Okay, let's look at the positive findings first. Nearly all platforms cover primary, lower secondary, and upper secondary education. So around 30% offer a dedicated mobile application, and most provide free resources and user guidance. However, access does not always mean meaningful inclusion of offline learning. Static PDF download do not equal or complete offline learning experience. So accessibility support for learners, screen readers, and captions voice navigation and the adopter interfaces remains uneven across the platforms. This is our third findings. Usability. Advanced learning functions are the main performance bottleneck. So most platforms support only one or two of the 5 advanced usability functions. So the usability maybe include these 5 dimensions: interactive support, formative assignment, and offer certification, AI integration, and the personality recommendation. Covers 3 or more usability dimensions about only 3 platforms, like Singapore as else, South Korea EBS, and the Khan Academic. Let's look at the case insight. The cases show what a rich learning experience can look like. First, the Singapore student learn space integrated the national learning environment, and the South Korea educational broadcasting system combines strong content and life learning they reach. So the another is the global references, Khan Academic. So it's adaptive learning with AI supporting the leading. Transfer the principle, not the interface. So we do not suggest copying these platforms directly. Instead, countries can learn from their design principle and learner-centered interaction, continuous feedback, and clean progression and responsibility, the personalization. Thank you. So based on the 3 findings, we have the 3 recommendations. The first is Global Resource Index, and the second is Cultural Linguistic Fit. And the last is precision adaptation. So in short, the future platforms should combine global interoperability with local relevance and continuous feedback. So this is our final takeaway. The public platforms have solved access faster than they have solved learning. The foundation kept access free and broad, and the net frontier we designed for active learning. And the last is the public value. So build for trust and adaptation. That's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Li Ping, for your exceptional presentations. We will now move to about 5 minutes Q&A sessions. Are there any questions from the audience that you would like to ask Ms. Li Ping? Okay.
Hi, Li Ping. Your research is very interesting. I have a question. How were the 5 dimensions of usability identified? Thank you.
Oh, thank you. We have 5 dimensions. These 5 dimensions can compare, can test the 22 the platform, digital platform. So we have a framework evaluate and availability, capacity, inclusivity, and the usability. So the usability have 5 dimensions. We use these 5 dimensions can test the digital platform. Okay.
Hi, that was great presentation. I'd just like to relate to the part where you talk about disability program in the university. Would like to know that which actually university that you focus on. Is it in China or elsewhere?
Global.
Global. I
Yeah.
mean, like how
The global digital platform.
digital platform.
Yeah, because the digital platform close to the national education.
No, about the disability support that you mentioned in one of your slides. Is it do you focus
Yeah. Focus the K-12 education level.
K?
K-12.
K-12 or higher education?
Some cases concern the higher education and the lifelong learning.
Is there any difference between those supports for the higher education, lifelong learning, and the K-12?
Not all.
Is there any difference?
I just major focus the K-12 platform, the education, because the government supported the funding and other the people and operate organization can together make the support the content for the infrastructure education.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's just all the questions. Thank you for both questions, and thank you, Liping, for sharing your discussion.
Okay, thank you.
Now let us proceed to the next presentations. Our next presenter is Zhumin on Chinese cultural aphasia in English language education, a systematic review and transcultural reconstruction framework. Please join me in welcoming Zhumin.
Okay, good morning, distinguished professors, doctors, and fellow students. My name is Zhumin, a PhD student from INTI International University. My supervisor is Dr. Renee. Today, I will discuss Chinese cultural aphasia in English language education. Based on a systematic review of 52 studies, I will explain the problem, the causes, and a transcultural reconstruction framework for addressing the problem. So what is Chinese cultural aphasia? Chinese cultural aphasia is not simply weak English or dumb English, and it is not a lack of cultural knowledge. Actually, learners often recognize festivals, historical figures, values, heritage, and so on. But the same learners struggle to explain, translate, interpret, and position that knowledge for international audience. So the central issue is a disconnect between cultural knowledge and English expression. I think it matters because intercultural communication cannot be genuinely two-way if learners can understand other cultures but cannot represent their own. So this matters. This review asks for questions. The first one, how does cultural aphasia appear across learners and educational system? And the second one, what are the causes? Number three, what solutions have been proposed and tested? The last one is, how has the field evolved and what integrated framework can guide future action? So these are the four questions. We searched CNKI for studies from 2000 to 2025, and the search was completed on March 15th, 2026. From 3,064 initial records, screening and eligibility assessment produced 52 included studies, 48 in Chinese and 4 in English. Following PRISMA guidelines, we coded the studies for participants, manifestations, causes, proposed responses, and theoretical perspectives. The clearest learner level finding is the knowledge and expression gap. In one study, English majors scored 71.7% on Chinese cultural knowledge, but only 41.9% on English expression. And for non-English majors, the scores were 65.4 and 31.7%. And other studies reported the same pattern across university and vocational settings. I think this implication is very important because it means adding cultural facts is not enough. Learners need repeated opportunities to translate, to explain, to negotiate national cultural meanings in English. The problem is not simply located in learners. One study found that 75% of teachers introduced only Western cultures, and teacher capacity and classroom emphasis remain uneven. And other studies found that Chinese culture occupies only 2.5 to 6.25% in mainstream college English textbook. And local cultures is often fragmented rather than systematically developed. And in a 10 university survey, 70% offered no Chinese cultural courses, and only 18% offered an English taught course for English majors. So this problem is actually systematically produced. And this review identifies five causes. The historical and social conditions has normalized Western cultural centrality and unequal global circulation. Policy supports broad aspirations without clear content and standards. And textbooks provide fragmented Chinese cultural material. And teachers and students have limited cultural expression resources, identity, and practice opportunities. And finally, the discourse dependence limit how Chinese culture can be interpreted. And the five causes reinforce one another. That is, the main cultural context shape institutions. Institutions shape classrooms, and classroom routines produce unequal expressive capacity. And the solutions may fall into 6 areas: policy, curriculum, pedagogy, teacher development, assessment, and discourse reconstruction. In a one semester long intervention that combined English material about China, improved students' attitudes and cultural expression accuracy. But the study is unusual. Most proposals still lack large-scale and longitudinal testing. Therefore, the field has many reasonable proposals, but still lacks strong causal and long-term evidence. And the field developed in 3 phases. Number 1, the initial problem identification is from 2000 to 2005, and empirical expression is from 2006 to 2050. And the systematic exploration is from 2016 to 2025. And 4 gaps remain unresolved. First, there are limited attention to basic and vocational education. And second, there are very few longitudinal studies. And number 3, dependence on Western theories. And the last one is very insufficient real classroom research on discourse reconstruction. So I think the four gaps point point to the need for an integrated framework. Okay, the transcultural reconstruction framework integrate the review findings in 3 dimensions. First, the institutional reconstruction. The institutional reconstruction translates broad cultural goals into clear standards, coherent textbooks, and teacher support, teacher development, and aligned assessment. The pedagogical reconstruction focused on teachers' cultural literacy improvement, comparative teaching and project-based learning, and technology empowerment. And the discourse reconstruction develops the capacity to interpret Chinese culture through culturally grounded aspects while remaining understandable to international audience. The goal is discourse autonomy, but this doesn't mean rejecting Western theories or cultural isolation. It means creating conditions for equal and two-way dialogue. The practical implications lies in 3 aspects. First, for institutions, it is to define level-specific outcome, align textbooks and assessment, and fund sustained teacher development. And for classroom, it is important to teach culture through English use, compare, explain, translate, and negotiate cultural meanings in English. And the assessment should evaluate performance. And future research should test TRF components longitudinally, especially in basic and vocational education. And it's important to track discourse and identity outcome. Okay, to conclude, there are 3 important points. Chinese cultural aphasia is a knowledge expression gap. It is reproduced systematically, not caused by learners only. And the TRF links policy, pedagogy, and discourse to build autonomy. The goal is not simply more cultural facts, but the capacity to speak from a culturally grounded position in global English. And that's all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Zhumin, for your presentations. We will now move to the Q&A section. Are there any questions for Zhumin from the audience? Is there any question?
Are there any questions?
No questions? If there are no further questions, well, thank you, Zhumin, for sharing your well-prepared research. Thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and discussion. Let us proceed to the next presentation. The next presenter is Ahmad Faisuddin on the topic of leading the digital pivot, a systematic literature review of AI-driven curriculum, innovations, and sustainable leadership in higher education. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Ahmad Faisuddin.
All right. Hi, everyone. Okay, before I start the presentation, I would like to disclose that my slide is 100% AI. All right. So by saying that, now I would like to begin the presentation by asking, how many of you are not using AI? All right. Are you not using AI? Okay. More specifically, how many of you are leaders, education leaders who are not using AI? None. Okay. because most of us, I think all of us, okay, now using AI in whatever field we are in, right? So that will be my research motivation actually, because most of us using AI now, we use many tools of AIs, yeah? And then also there are the systematic digital pivot strategies which is lacking. How AI's policy, how AI's frameworks is organized, right? So that's become my research motivation, yeah? So that is the existing literature limit actually. The tools, we are using many tools, and then at the same time, there are also leadership void. There are unclear managerial frameworks, such the gaps and the voids there. So my main objective is, based on that, we have the technological innovations. We have the education management policy. But how the policy itself, is there producing any specific guidelines or framework how to best implement AI in education institution, especially in higher education? So this is also continuing from the previous presentation, also about Prisma, using Prisma Systematic Literature Review. Okay, I use Scopus and Web of Science. Unfortunately, there are not many, when I use the specific keywords in this topic, not so many results. Okay, I use this initial screening based on the title and abstract, and producing only 38 results. All right, based on that, interestingly, of course, up to 2026, now still we are in 2026, the use of AI, the policy, the framework, increasing by years. All right, the most top cited publication in this, interestingly, so we can see that the primary thematic clusters, when we use this topic about mainly institutional governance, the strategic e-leadership, academic integrity, ethics, etc. And then we have the quantitative foundations, also workforce preparation, etc. That's the main primary thematic cluster within the 38 reviews. Now, this is also interesting part of the findings. Yeah, we can see that Saudi Arabia leading in this area actually, and nowhere here we can find Thailand. So that will be a good start for, especially for my colleague from Thailand. Perhaps in the future we can work on this, can collaborate on the future research on this. Also, Indonesia and Malaysia is somewhere, but not leading in this area. Okay, by document type, of course, article normally will be many. Okay, now based on the 38 reviews, I found 3 core pillars. Yeah, the first one, institutional readiness. Actually, how we integrated institutional ready for digital pivot by making the infrastructure scaling, and then also leading to the faculty upscaling, and finally to resource allocation. The second pillar is pedagogical re-engineering, integrated pedagogical model for the digital era. As we know that we have the personalized learning, which leads to the questioning of the authentic assessment, and finally the skill first curricula we are producing. And the last pillar is sustainable governance, the integrated governance model for sustainable AI initiatives. This is the main findings actually, how ethical guidelines of using AI with a relation to academic integrity, and how digital divide mitigation. So the framework should be the 3-pillar synergy: visionary, anchoring the pedagogy and infrastructure and ethics. This is also the systemic outcomes when we produce the policy equilibrium, resilient culture, and finally the sustainable growth. So I let my pictures explain to you. And finally, the research gap, they're overrepresented actually in the findings, the technical readiness and infrastructure. Also number 2, pedagogy and educational methodologies. But underrepresented in the review is the holistic governance and leadership. This is something lacking in the review itself. So that will be this study contribution. Finally, the implication for the proposed framework can be in the form of educational theory, can contribute to the curriculum policy, can contribute mostly to the leadership practice. And the future research agenda should be, because this is only the systematic literature review, so we have the harmonious integration between, now we have the technical readiness, we have the pedagogical re-engineering, but we are lacking with the governance part. That will be how we integrate that 3 pillars. So future research agenda, I think we should do more research on this, focus more research on this area, empirical validation, and then cross-cultural analysis. Finally, I don't expect any questions, but if you have any, just please in the form of comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ahmad, for your presentation. But also, we still have 5 minutes session, Q&A session. Is there any questions from Mr. Ahmad before we are going to take a lunch break? I guess everybody is hungry now. So that's it from Mr. Ahmad. Thank you for your presentations and thank you for your research. Now we are going to take a lunch break for almost an hour and then we will get back to run another sessions at 1 p.m. Thank you for your participation. Thank you so much.